Hi everyone, it's Mr. Harrison here again from Valley Manor School here in Martensville, Saskatchewan. Hi to all our family and friends. We hope everyone is doing well. We got news yesterday that our classrooms will be closed for the remainder of the year, but that our supplemental learning will continue on. And so again, our teachers are sharing some of their favorite stories with you to help you keep a good positive thing going. And we'll get back and we'll get through this. Um, we talk a lot lately about the spreading of the COVID, and the reason we're not going to school is so that we don't spread any of the virus. And it reminded me again of a story called Ordinary Mary's Extraordinary Deed. And it's about a spreading of something else. So I want to spread a little joy today and share that story with you. Ordinary Mary's Extraordinary Deed by Emily Pearson. Ordinary Mary was so very ordinary that you'd never guess she could change the world. This ordinary kid? Well, she did. She changed the world. One ordinary day, skipping on her way from her ordinary school to her ordinary house, she passed an ordinary vacant lot filled with ordinary bushes, growing ordinary berries, ordinary blue and juicy, luscious, lovely berries. Well, Ordinary Mary picked the ordinary berries and brought them in a big brown bowl to Mrs. Bishop's porch. What? She left berries in a big brown bowl on Mrs. Bishop's porch? That sneaky kid. She did. And this made Mrs. Bishop very, very happy. So she baked a big batch of blueberry muffins and thought of 5 people who might have brought those beautiful berries, and then secretly she gave each a plate. How great! 5 people got a plate. One of those 5 was her paper boy, Billy Parker, and when Billy saw his name on a note in the driveway on a plate, he quickly parked his bite and ate every crumb. Oh, yum, yum, yum! He ate every crumb. And this made him so glad that the next 5 people got their papers on the porch and not in the bushes, where he often threw them by mistake, and in fact they were handed right to them. One of those 5 was Mr. Stevens, who was so amazed that he smiled for 10 hours on the airplane, and then said to 5 different people who had heavy bags, "Here, let me help you." He still smiled, but now they did too. And one of those 5 was Maria, whose cranky little boy James stopped crying when Mr. Stephen played a peekaboo game with him on their ride. When he waved goodbye, Maria exclaimed, "How strange that a stranger would be so sweet." And the next day, when she was out shopping, once, twice, 5 times, she did something nice for 5 different people. 5 times without stopping. And one of those 5 was Joseph, old and bent and gray, in front of her in line at the produce stand. And when he said, "Oh, I guess I counted wrong. I don't really need these oranges," little James reached out to him with an orange from their basket, and Maria put a coin in Joseph's hand and said, "Here, take this. The oranges are on us." And as Joseph shuffled to the bus, his heart was full and his eyes were wet, and his hands did helpful things for the next 5 people that he met. One of those 5 was Sarah, a college girl who was off to see the world and stopped at Joseph's shop. And when her bag broke and her things fell all over the floor, she said, "Oh, whatever will I do?" And Joseph said, "Well, this is for you." And he gave her a new bag woven of his own hands in red and purple and green. "Oh, thank you," she said. "It's the loveliest bag that I've ever seen." And when Sarah left, she felt sunny as noon, and she just had to shine on 5 people very soon. And one of those 5 was Sophia, who she met on a boat, looking like the world might end, looking like someone without a friend. "What beautiful blue eyes you have," Sarah said, "and they're just the color of the flowers in your lovely dress." "Yes," said Sophia. "Oh, yes," said Sarah, and the beautiful blue eyes shed a happy tear. And when the boat trip was through, Sophia called 5 people to make them happy too. And one of those 5 was Tom, her son, a doctor, who was having a very hard day. "Hi," she said. "I love you, Tom." "Well, how great to hear from you. How great to hear that voice," he sighed. "I always need my mum." Dr. Tom was so cheered up that on his next break he brought a big bunch of bright balloons for 5 young patients, and he handed to them right out of there and there. And one of those 5 was Peter, a little boy who went home from the hospital that very day. Gratitude for the big bunch of bright balloons filled him and thrilled him and spilled out of him and on to the next 5 people who came his way. And one of those 5 was Eric, a teenage boy whose sacks and such were way too much. When one dropped on the sidewalk, Peter stopped to play and rushed right over, saying, "Super Wheels to the rescue!" Well, Eric no longer stressed. He was so impressed and made a mental note that very afternoon to help 5 people and to do it soon. And one of those 5 was Dee, his 10-year-old sister, who didn't have many friends and was painfully shy. And when Eric said, "Hey sis, want to come to the park and learn how to ride my skateboard?" she looked at him wide-eyed and said, "Are you serious?" "Sure," he said. And because of her brother, Dee decided maybe she could be a friend to another 5 others. And one of those 5 was Louise, a homeless woman who lived under the trees, and she could hardly believe her ears when she heard Dee say, "May my brother and I buy you a hot dog and a drink at that stand over there?" Could it be true? Someone actually cared enough to give her food and a smiley-faced ring that was practically new? Louise was so pleased that she decided that even though she had nothing, she would find 5 others and give them something. And one of those 5 was Mr. Taylor, who had lost his wallet in the park. Louise found it full of 5s and 10s and $20 bills. Oh, what she could do with all that money! But she found his name, and she called his home, and over he came. He was so impressed that she was honest in spite of being poor, that he offered her a job in his store and vowed to do something generous for 5 people or more. One of those 5 was Kate, a woman on vacation who wanted to see a show she'd heard was a sensation. "Oh no," she said, "it's sold out, but I'm going home tomorrow," and her face filled with sorrow. Mr. Taylor held out his ticket. "I live here," he said. "I can go any time. Please take mine." Kate loved the show and was so touched that she thought about buying 5 presents for 5 people back home, and that would be really fun. And one of those 5 presents was a little heart necklace for Mary, her niece, and you should have seen her eyes light up in surprise. Mary? What? Ordinary Mary? Yes, Ordinary Mary's extraordinary deed had come full circle, and on its way had changed the lives of every person living. You see, when Mrs. Bishop made muffins from Mary's blueberries, not only the paper boy, Billy Parker, and the other 4 people, too, made 5 people smile, and those 5 did too, and after a while, in only 15 days, love was sent to every person, everywhere. Just see how it went. And it has all of the numbers of how it went from 1 to 5 to 25 to 125 all the way up to 6,103,515,625 people. One extraordinary deed spread around the world. We want to share love, and we want to share caring, and we want to share our love here from all of the teachers and everyone at Valley Manor School to everyone in our family, and we hope you're having a good day. And we hope you enjoyed Ordinary Mary's Extraordinary Deed. Have a great day.